Hey guys, Shoal New Haircut Doge here. Today we're going to be looking at the PK Zero, which I brought from the official PK Gamer store on AliExpress. This one comes in 450 by 400 millimeters, which is the only size it comes in. And this pad comes in red or blue, which today I have the blue version. So starting with the surface, this is supposed to be PK's take on the Artisan Zero surface, which they describe as having the same properties as the Zero while being less rough to the skin. I'll show a macro at this point. The stitching is immediately identifiable as an Artisan Zero clone, while the stitching isn't as densely packed as the Zero. The cloth itself is much less densely wound than the cloth of the Artisan Zero. Both of these properties combined are what I suspect are allowing the pad to be soft to the touch, but still provide the tactility that an Artisan Zero would. Compared directly with the Artisan Zero, the PK Zero is generally a bit more slower than the Artisan Zero, but it actually feels like the Artisan Zero has a hair more stopping power than the PK Zero. These are very minor differences though, and I could really see it varying from person to person, so overall PK did a good job with replicating the properties of the surface of the Artisan Zero. I don't have any humidity issues as per usual, but this is one of the more sweat resistant pads I've used. Maybe just a tad less than the Artisan Zero. Pretty arm sleeve friendly, you can see by the video I'm using an arm sleeve. It catches a little bit on the y-axis, but I could still see myself using this pad with an arm sleeve without much issue. The base is the same budget rubber you'll find on most older PK pads. This is the point at which this pad could really do well with an upgrade like the PK Speed got. And at this point I'll show you the plushness with this dye. It does have a plushness to it, but it feels a little bit on the firmer side when you're using it regularly. It definitely doesn't have as much rebound as the Artisan Zero would have with its pour-on base, but you won't run into many issues with it being on the firmer side. As this pad is more on the firm side, you won't run into many issues with dot skates unless you press really hard, so that's definitely a plus of that at least. No problems with the base becoming less adherent over time, but just as with other older versions of the PK pads, there isn't much to begin with. Quality-wise, stitching is really nice on my copy. No inconsistencies there and doesn't have the same heat treatment issue that the old PK Control one had. Nice and plush and just about even with the surface, though it does seem to raise above the surface at some places. And the logo is also unfortunately raised, which is disappointing considering all the other PK pads did not have a raised logo or had some workaround like the PK Speed did with its tag. It does seem as though this pad replicates the hair and other debris issue that the Artisan Zero has, which is unfortunate because it will be harder to keep clean over time. You may have to wash it once or twice a month to keep it clean. No major bumps or unevenness with the surface, but the edges still creasing definitely bothers me. Now for the price, I got it for $8 with shipping on AliExpress with an early bird deal at the time of purchase, but as with other PK pads and most mouse pads in general, with the tariffs it'd be best to wait until a later time to buy this pad, with its price being around $25 at this point. It came rolled up in a box and it still doesn't roll out flat. There are no coatings, doesn't feel any different to me when I first got it, at the very least. In conclusion, if you have issues with the rough surface of the Artisan Zero and want a more budget-friendly pad as well, this could be the choice for you. But it does really need the new base upgrade that the PK Speed has and the new PK Control has. If you can get this pad at a good price, it's a great buy. I hate Artisan Zero clones as much as the other guy, but this pad does provide a new feeling in terms of Artisan Zero clones. So with all that being said, see you later!